This is the Transformers Generations Authentics Bravo, new for 2024. We've got a brand new sculpt for the Authentics Bravo line of Megatron, and he's looking absolutely amazing. Looks pretty cool in this new mold. And the box art, absolutely fantastic. There's a little bit of a Cybertronian writing right here. I'm pretty sure it spells out as Megatron. I picked up this figure from my local Toy Kingdom store for 400 pesos, Philippine pesos, which roughly translates to about $7. $7 and like 15 cents or something like that. And here is Authentics Bravo Megatron out of the box, and the new mold looks absolutely amazing. Look at this guy. He looks like a Ninja Turtle from Cybertron. And the sculpting on this figure, just gorgeous. And I love the paint apps that they put. They didn't even have to paint it because the plastic is already made of this glossy pearlescent gray. And they only painted the faction symbol right there on his chest and his face, which look absolutely amazing. We'll talk about that later. But overall, for an Authentics Bravo figure, this is a pretty cool looking badass Megatron. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 11.5 centimeters tall, or about 4 5/8 inches tall. And for comparisons, here he is with the Voyager class Netflix Siege Megatron, as well as the Legends Transformers Universe Megatron, or now they're called a Legion class. And look at the size of this guy compared to these two. He's about the size of a small deluxe class figure. I love the scale on this guy. And if you look at the aesthetics, he looks so much like the G1 Megatron. I think more than either of these two figures. I love how they molded him in this really cool gray plastic, and that head sculpt, probably the most G1 looking out of the three. The figure comes with one accessory, his fusion cannon, which is beautifully sculpted, made of this glossy black solid plastic, and you just plug it on his arm, only in his right arm because that's where he usually holds it, and he can blast away at the Autobots. Decepticons attack! So you can take that off. Articulation for the figure. The neck has no articulation because it's molded in, and I completely understand why. They would completely ruin the whole sculpt had they put some articulation on it. And they've got this whole shell of a backpack on the back of his head, which really just accents, I think it really just improves the look of that head sculpt. No torso or waist articulation. Doesn't need to have some articulation in the chest and torso. The arms are on ball joints, but they can only move this way and that way. That's the only movement you need for these arms, because he just always points forward to destroy Autobots. The fists are on ball joints. In swivel and go in and out. Hips are on ball joints, allow the legs to go do sort of like the splits, not so much move forward and backward. The knees are on ball joints that allow you to move the feet inward like this, so you can do some dance steps. And there's so much ball joints, but so little movement. But, you know, Megatron doesn't need to move too much. He just needs to stand up, lead the Decepticons, and shoot at the Autobots. And then you just play it like this. He doesn't need to walk. Let's go, Decepticons, or retreat, Decepticons, retreat. And he just flies off this way. So I totally understand why they didn't put a lot of articulation, or the articulation they put is just minimal. Okay, in terms of paint apps, like I mentioned earlier, very nice colored plastic, very glossy gray bits here and there. They used dark gray on the arms, legs, and light gray on the thighs. Very nice. And everywhere you look at this figure, there's just a ton of molded in detail. Every inch is just beautifully sculpted with Cybertronian tech, Cybertronian design, or design of the tank for this figure. Now, to transform this figure, this is where the fun begins, really, for me. You fold the fist this way. It's quite involved, so very tricky. So you have to pay attention to how the instructions tell you how to transform this guy. Once you folded the fists inward, fold them a little bit more so that they're hidden. You go ahead and rotate the arms upwards. The legs are on a two-step transformation. You rotate the lower legs this way and then fold them up. Rotate the lower legs and fold them up. It can be very tricky, so you've got to be very careful when you're doing that, because it's so easy to make a mistake transforming the legs. And you got to line them up properly And essentially, that is the tank. All that's left is really to add the gun onto the turret, and he's now a Cybertronian turtle tank, or the thunder tank. Thunder, thunder. It looks so cool. It's very solid. And it looks as though it could fly even. Like, could have thrusters, like, and it looks like an all-terrain tank. It can go underwater, go in the air, go on land. Something from the Terminator movies combined with Cybertronian tech and design. Really, really cool tank. And there's no wheels, there's no moving treads, but the treads are sculpted enough so that they don't make too much of an annoying noise or annoying sound when you roll the tank onto your tabletop. You can even make that sound like, oh man, really cool. Loads of fun in this alt mode. Transformation, just absolutely brilliant. The designers at Hasbro really nailed it with this Authentics Bravo Megatron. To transform him back into robot mode, remove the gun. Go ahead and unfold the legs. Rotate them back properly so that the legs align. You got to move the arms down and then unfold the fists. Make sure the fists are lined up properly. And finally, just attach the fusion cannon onto his arm and he's good to go. And so some final thoughts on this Transformers Generations Authentics Bravo Megatron. I thought it was a brilliant figure. Definitely an amazing, amazing figure and a perfect addition for any Megatron collection that you may have. It looks great on any shelf. You can mix with Generations figures, Legacy figures, movie figures, even core class figures. I thought they did a wonderful, wonderful job with this figure. The sculpt is amazing. Transformation engineering, just absolutely perfect. It's so enjoyable. Man, this figure deserves my legendary 1 million out of 10 rating. I absolutely love this figure. I cannot recommend this figure enough. You guys have got to pick this one up. I mean, for $7, you cannot lose with this figure. And I have him here now in this superhero landing pose. How cool is that? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Generations Authentics Bravo Megatron. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.